Hello, everybody. Welcome to Instagram Live. How exciting is this? Good to see everybody, sort of, virtually. I can already see you down in the comments, but welcome to our attic. So, kind of weird to be going live from the house, and just a forewarning that Buddy is very vocal today, so he might interrupt our live stream, but hopefully he comes up and says hello. I was hoping that Truman would be here at the top of the hour to say hello, but he has abandoned his dog bed right here, probably because they hear a certain someone down in the kitchen. But this is fun, so it's the only goal we have for this is just to have fun. I know that it's kind of a scary time for everybody right now to be stuck at home and sort of wondering what's going on and how long we're going to be at home. A lot of information swirling around. But I just wanted to come on here and answer some questions and talk to folks and catch up because even though we have to be at home, we don't have to be lonely. And social isolation doesn't mean you have to shut off the rest of the world. So a bunch of you submitted a lot of questions. But before I jump into your questions, I did just want to say a big greeting and sending lots of love to Senator Amy Klobuchar and her family today. If you heard the news about her husband being hospitalized with coronavirus, which must be very scary for the family. So Peter and I are sending a lot of love and hope that he makes a swift recovery. I know it must be very concerning and hard to not be at your partner's side, especially when they're going through something as scary as this. So thinking of you, John. Thanks for always being so kind on the campaign trail, and hope everything goes well. So lots of questions coming in, and it's very funny to see all the different things that people care about, especially the cooking videos. I did not anticipate that would be a thing people would care about. And the funny thing is the last couple days there weren't cooking videos because we were just reheating leftovers, and I thought that would be really boring. But kind of awkward to be getting emails from people being like, "What did you have for dinner last night? We didn't hear from you." Just reheated pasta, Karen. That's all we had. First thing I saw a lot of people asking about was just coming off the campaign trail. And Peter and I have been joking a lot that we always wished we had more time to spend at home with our dogs and with one another. And here we are, looking like we'll be getting a couple months of that. So it's very nice. We've been cleaning the house, going room by room, and doing a lot of spring cleaning. I'm actually getting Pete to sort through his books, which is incredible, and spending lots of time with the dogs. They both got a bath last night, and that it's really nice to just be home and sort of settling back into that. We're cooking and we're playing board games and spending a lot of time just reading in front of the fire, which is incredible. And I'm very glad that we have that time. So, all right, let's jump in. A bunch of people asking about homeschooling their kids, which I know must be insane, especially if you are not a teacher or you have no experience with teaching. I think the most important thing to take away from this opportunity is that it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect. I think it sounds like a lot of people are putting way too much pressure on themselves to be perfect and to be the best teacher. I think if I could give you any advice, it would be to try to spark some curiosity and keep your kids curious and ask them what they're curious about. And if they're curious and they want to know more about something, then you should encourage them to pursue learning more about that. But you yourself aren't a teacher, and you don't have to be a perfect teacher. But I've been throwing out some suggestions on Twitter just about creating reading agendas, and today we're talking about having a structured morning meeting, so you're setting some guidelines, that way your kids aren't pestering you all day with questions. All right, let's see. Awkwardly, no questions about the beard. Not a single question about the beard, which I thought was so weird because it seemed like everybody cared about the status of Pete's beard, but nobody asked about it. So I guess we'll have to wait for an update on that. All right, let's see. Abby, why are cheese curds so good? It's because they're miracles, Abby. They are little miracle morsels. Taryn, do you like Taylor Swift? Yes, Taryn. Know your audience. All right. Robin, how are the puppies? Buddy and Truman are doing very well. They're getting almost daily walks, although it's been kind of cold and rainy and snowy here in South Bend, but itching to get outside. They're doing very, very well. We're setting some boundaries with Buddy. I think he missed us a little bit. So trying to set some ground rules there, but lots of snuggles and lots of love. Thank you for caring about them. All right, Colin asks, tips for somebody who's coming out to you. That's really important, Colin. I appreciate you asking that question and caring about how you can be a really good ally. So the thing I would tell you to think most about is helping your friend understand that they don't owe the world anything. I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you're coming out, that you owe everybody an explanation. You have to explain it to everybody, you have to come out to everybody. But I don't think that's necessarily true. But when one of our friends opens up to us and they decide they want to come out, I think it's really important that we make sure that they know that they're safe and that we love them, and we tell them that repeatedly. And I remember when I came out, I felt like a burden so often that I would come out to a friend, but then if I ever wanted to talk about my insecurities or my fears or my worries, that I would be burdening my friends with all of those worries and insecurities. When in fact, I think it's really powerful if you tell your friend, you are not a burden to me. I love you very much, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you know you feel loved and that you are safe with me. And beyond that, make sure that they're not putting too much pressure on themselves to be perfect for everybody else. And everyone's coming out story is different, and there's not one specific way to be gay, and there's not one specific way to come out. And when you do it for yourself. You don't do it for other people. And so when you're considering coming out, or when a friend comes out to you, make sure that they know how loved they are and how safe they are, and that how much work you're going to do for them if they need you to, and how much space you're going to provide them. All right, so I'm going to stop there with some questions because I know we have a guest waiting to chat with us. So this is the first time I have done this, so let me find my guest. If you have been following Pete for America, you know that we have some rock star supporters and some people who did so much. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Connecting. Mandy Moore!
Hi! How are you, friend?
I'm great. I'm up in my attic. It's
What?
like reverse Harry Potter.
I love it. I'm sitting on the couch in my living room with Joni.
Joni!
Yeah, we've FaceTimed a few times in the last couple of days just to say hi to each other's dogs, which always puts a smile on my face.
I love when you're FaceTiming with a friend and there comes a point where the cameras are both pointed at the dogs.
Yeah.
And then they're talking. It's like the dogs are having a moment.
Totally.
I would like to think that Joni and Buddy and Truman are close friends.
I feel like they would absolutely get along. Yeah.
They would try.
Yes. How are you doing?
The question of the year. I'm great. I'm trying to stay busy. I feel like Peter is settling into a routine more than I am. So I just kind of walk in circles around the house all day. Like I'll clean a little bit and then walk in a circle, and then like make a sandwich and then walk in a circle. I'm kind of, I don't know, it's like disequilibrium. Like I haven't settled into a routine.
Yeah, I think that's okay. We haven't either, really. I mean, for me, I think what's been most helpful is not putting that pressure on myself to figure out what my days have to be filled with and just sort of going with the flow right now. It feels really good to move a little bit, like getting outside and exploring our neighborhood, which I know sounds ridiculous because we've lived in our house now for a couple years. And I feel like I've seen more of the neighborhood on walks with the dogs in the last week than I have the entire time we've lived here, which has been really nice.
Yeah. I way too much pressure.
Right?
When you don't put that pressure on yourself, like I think I've had that conversation with Pete where I'm like, I'm happy for you that you can like settle into this and you can have a routine, but I'm just gonna like give myself some time to realize like I'm in a new
whole new world,
like especially coming off the campaign trail.
I can't imagine. Yeah. I think our partners are similar in the sense that like my husband Taylor has just been, he's like taken to this time and he's immediately super productive and he's writing and he's like stowed away in his office. And I haven't reacted quite the same way. So we're kind of on a similar wavelength.
Yeah. So what are you doing? I mean, what is your, with no pressure, like, are you sort of like establishing a loose agenda for yourself, or?
Yeah, I like moving every day. Like I just did an exercise class on Instagram with like 30 other people. We've been walking every day. We've actually gotten into watching like classic movies that I have sort of put on the back burner. Like, yeah, I'll eventually watch Casablanca. Like I'd never seen Casablanca. We watched On the Waterfront last night. So I'm trying to sort of like, I guess, have a bit of a cinema education on this break, and cooking as well. And I mean, like everybody, I think all of our pets are so grateful for this time with them at home. Our dogs and cats have never been snugglier.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Which is funny because like this is their normal. So they're
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
why
Why are you home so often? Yeah.
can you give us some space?
What have your days been like?
I mean,
Besides walking in circles and eating sandwiches.
I think this is, Pete and I were joking about this. I think this is the first time in like over 5 years we've been together. We've cooked like all 3 meals for an entire week. Like, so there's that. And I look forward to that, like cooking.
Yeah.
And I've also never worked out this much in a single my body hurts tremendously, but you know, you have to move, and one reason why I'm actually motivated to work out so much every day is because I just want to move. It's also really cold here, so
yeah,
I don't want to go for a long walk in the cold. So
yeah.
I jump on the bike, do my thing. We've got this weight rack in the basement, which was like covered in cobwebs, so we had to like clean it off, dust it off, but that's about it, cooking, working out, working on a few projects, but I'm trying to get back into some books that I haven't had a chance to read in a long time.
Right? Isn't that so nice that we can get to those things we've been putting off for God knows how long?
I found this on my bedside table. So I read half this book, All the Light We Cannot See. Did you ever read this book?
No.
And I read about half of it, and the bookmark is a boarding pass from 2017.
Got it. Do you feel like you have to start from the beginning now, though?
I do.
Do you know where you are?
So I'm going to start over.
Got it.
And because I'm going to throw this in there because I know people have been asking, but this is the book Pete is reading, and I know nothing about it. So I'm putting it out there for the...
What is it? The Mirror and the Light?
The Mirror and the Light. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Everyone keeps asking about like what we're reading, what we're watching.
Yeah, what are you guys watching?
We just watched The Aeronauts on Amazon.
Oh, that was a movie, right?
Yeah, like a weather balloon, hot air balloon movie. And I know there's questions about the historical accuracy and plot points of the movie, but the visuals are like stunning. I had like sweaty hands like half the movie. So.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it. We started watching Tiger King last night. Oh,
what is that?
My God. It's a docuseries on Netflix about Joe Exotic, the like big cat zookeeper guy. It's insane, Chasten. I don't know if you guys are ready to jump into that.
I mean, I've got time.
It's a real palate cleanser from On the Waterfront, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, Taylor told Pete about this like Netflix for old movies. What's it called?
Oh, the Criterion app. It used to be like the Criterion Collection. Yeah. That's pretty much what we're doing these days, is just going through the Criterion Collection.
Downloaded it yesterday.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'll have to tell Taylor. He'll be so psyched.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
It's always so nice to see your face.
It's nice to see your face.
I'm glad you guys are hanging in there and spreading cheer. By the way, thank you for turning me on to all those penguin videos. That made my day. I'm sure everybody has seen them. I'm like always the last person on the planet to see that sort of stuff. You're really good about like hipping me to what the internet is watching. So thanks, Chasten.
I have to find this tweet that Pete sent me today. I'm DMing it to you. It's it says, "Pray for the zoo animals in this time of crisis. I mean, they're really getting well taken care of, but they're also living through an era of zookeepers saying, you know what, F it, let's just show them each other." And it's like a seal.
I love it so much. It makes me smile.
Well, good.
All right. Well, it was so good to see you.
All right. We'll chat soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. Love Mandy Moore. She's the best. All right. Couple more questions. Let's see. Oh, Alex wants me to talk about Pete. Well, Alex, I did that for 1.5 years. I mean, can I have a moment? Oh, look. Hello. Look who's decided to join us. Who could it be but the beard himself?
Hey, do you know where the paper clips are?
Okay. You're going to come into the frame. Yeah, it's right there.
Hello, everybody.
It's my husband. And the beard. It looks so good.
It's coming along, right?
It is. It's coming along.
This
really
is
well.
this is 1 week's worth, so we'll see what week 2 brings.
I had to shave. We've decided that I look best with maybe like a day or 2 of scruff, and then it's not downhill from there. It's like a cliff from there. It goes from like nice to like you really need to take care of yourself. You look disgusting. So I shaved for everyone today. I hear somebody else coming up the steps, but it takes them a very long time. Aw, come here, bud. Come here. Everyone needs to see Buddy. This is good for the
Is he
soul.
gonna make it up here?
He'll make it. Oh, what a good boy.
Okay.
All right. Well, before we go, Buddy's gonna say goodbye to the world. Bye. Hi, world. Bye, world. All right. Yeah, he's out of breath. There's a lot of steps. But I thought you should share with everybody. Obviously, you're doing a lot of phone calls and you're reading a lot more than I am and talking to a lot more people than I am. How, especially, can people be helpful right now and maybe give them a little advice?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is to look for good, trusted sources of information. There's a lot of information and there's a lot of misinformation out there. But the most important thing is to pay attention in particular to what is coming from public health officials. We're seeing a lot of governors and mayors stepping up. When the governor or mayor where you live says, stay home, please stay home. There are so many steps that we can take to help the spread of the epidemic. And unfortunately, this is one of those strange moments where often the best thing you can do is to not do much, to hunker down, find ways to support remotely the things that you care about and that you believe in. And remember that when you participate in that social distancing, you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting a lot of others too. This is going to be tough. There's no getting around that. But I've also been really moved hearing about how people are lifting each other up and how people are getting through life right now. Just today we talked with a supporter in Iowa who their son had his 11th birthday, was expecting and hoping for a sleepover. The family arranged a family sleepover instead. And they made the best out of it. And families across the country and people across the country are doing just that, finding new ways to make the best of the moment that we're in. As we know, Washington right now is working on a package. It's going to be really important to have one that supports individuals as well as businesses. And it's going to be really important to pay attention to what experts have to say and what local and state leaders have to say. I've been in touch with mayors who are pushing to make sure that cities and local governments are remembered in this work. And it's going to be really important for that to happen too. So we'll continue doing what we can remotely as people across the country are learning how to do. But I'm really excited to say, after being on the phone a lot these last few days, that our community of supporters is just as wonderful as they've ever been, gathering around those values that we all share.
They're the best. Thank you, everyone, for keeping up with us. It's been fun keeping up with you. We're trying to answer a lot of supporter mail. It's a mountain of mail, and it means so much to hear your stories and hear what the campaign meant to you and keeping up with you. as well. This has been fun. There's thousands of questions, so maybe we'll do this again. I think we'll do it again. I think I've got a couple more people, not only that I think you should hear from, but I want you to meet. So let's plan for Wednesday. Let's do this again Wednesday, 3 o'clock. We'll answer more of your questions. We'll get a status update on the beard, obviously. Maybe maybe Truman will swing by. We'll have another guest for you, and we'll just keep hanging out with one another. Just remember, social isolation doesn't mean you got to be a stranger to the world. So hopefully this brought you some smiles. Please wash your hands. Please take care of the people around you. Reach out to your parents, especially the elderly in your life. And don't forget to be kind to one another. So until Wednesday, take care. We'll see you soon.